وارزق أهله من الثمرات من آمن منهم بالله واليوم الآخر قال ومن كفر فأمتعه قليلا ثم أضطره إلى عذاب النار وبئس المصير وإذ يرفع إبراهيم القواعد من البيت وإسماعيل ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم ربنا واجعلنا مسلمين لك من ذريتنا أمة مسلمة لك وأرنا مناسكنا وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم ربنا وابعث فيهم رسولا منهم يتلو عليهم آياتك ويعلمهم الكتاب والحكمة ويزكيهم أنت العزيز الحكيم من يرغب عن ملة إبراهيم إلا من سفه نفسه
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi washabihi ajma'in. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. So inshallah tonight we'll continue in Surah Yasin. Yeah, the surah that everybody I think love it and memorize it also. The surah they call Qalbul Quran, the heart of the Quran. And tonight, inshallah, we'll start from ayah number 9. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وجعلنا من بين أيديهم سدا ومن خلفهم سدا فأغشيناهم فهم لا يبصرون وسواء عليهم أنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون إنما تنذر من اتبع الذكر وخشي الرحمن بالغيب وبشر بمغفرة وأجر كريم إنا نحن نحيي الموتى ونكتب ما قدموا وآثارهم وكل شيء أحصيناه في إمام مبين. So before we describe ayah number 9, I think just let me review. You know, Allah SWT start from Yasin by the word Yasin. We describe the word Yasin could be referred to Rasulullah SAW, one of his name, and then he swear with the word Quran al-Hakim, the Quran full of wisdom. Then Allah emphasized innaka laminal mursalin, and you, O Muhammad, no doubt among the messengers. Right? So then ayah talk about the message Allah SWT gives to Quraysh, but they're refusing, right? And now Allah will describe what's the reason that people sometimes refuse or unable to accept the message. وَجَعَلْنَا مِنْ بَيْنِ أَيْدِيهِمْ سَدًّا وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِمْ سَدًّا. فأغشيناهم فهم لا يبصرون.
And we have put a barrier before them and a barrier behind them, and we have covered them up so they cannot see. At this point, the surah draws an image of the psychological condition, and we see them with chains around their necks, barriers separating them from divine guidance, and with a cover over their eyes, depriving them of the ability to see.
So we have barrier from the front, right, and from the back, and then from the top. What is this? That means something that block them, right? What is in the front of us? Everything. When you wake up, you see what? You see the what you call it? Maybe your wife, your children. You know, you go outside, you see the trees, right? You see the building, you see everything. It's been you see all Allah's creation. Isn't that enough to make you reflect who create all of them, right? You would rest them, you see water, where's water come from? But even they see all this, but it's blocked because you put all in your mind, you don't refuse, right? Because everything have to be remind us with the Creator. And then also this block from the back, right? What's the break? Your history, the people before you, people of Ad, Thamud, Fir'aun, right? That means read history. What the end of people who are refuse Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? People of Lot, Allah destroy them, smash them, right? So what happened to them could happen to do, right? So knowing his story is very important. But still, that history in the past did not remind them. They cannot learn lesson. Why? Because they blocked. You didn't care. You know, that's happened to them and will happen to us. They ignored it. And then فَأَغْشَيْنَاهُمْ, and we have covered them up. From what? From the top. What's from the top? Is Quran, the Wahyu, revelation. How many ayah, how many verses, you know, in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala show us that this book is impossible to come from anyone else except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But again, even the people brought them the ayat, you know, the surah and everything, also they refuse. Why? Because there's a block. Right? Who make the block? They themselves. You know, sometimes people refuse to find out to accept the truth because the block could be like arrogant. So who are you, man? So the Arab must say arrogant. That's the block of them. I know when he was orphan, he's poor. You know, if a prophet should be Abu Jahl, Abu Lahab, the famous leader, and you, arrogant. Or because of what? Envy, jealous. Right? So mostly Bani Israel. If his prophet had to become from Isaac, not from Ismail. Right? So even we in our daily life, some husband didn't want to accept if first it is truth because come from wife. Who are you? Right? Or from your son or somebody lower than you. Yeah. So therefore, in order to be easy to accept the truth, we have to remove the block, the barrier. Yeah. But also this Rasulullah recite this ayah when he left his house, was surrounded by the young people ready to kill him. Remember that? So he read this ayah. وَجَعَلْنَا مِنْ بَيْنِ أَيْدِيهِمْ, you know, and we have put the barrier before them. He took the dust, remember that? He put in their hair. So Muhammad passed by them. He couldn't see them. Right? I don't know. And just related to the story, when I was studying in Egypt, they used to send me $1, money, but just put in the envelope. This is dangerous. Because on that time we had difficult to send money from Indonesia to Egypt. And I saw him, he read this ayah. He put the ayah in. So the postman didn't see it. But I noticed that one day he opened it, but he didn't take it. Maybe he's scared he did the ayah. Yeah, I don't know. وسواء عليهم أنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون. Is there some? I think
It is the same to them whether you warn them or you warn them not. They will not believe. Their case is settled. God knows that faith will not penetrate their hearts. No warning will ever benefit a heart that has steeled itself against divine guidance and barracked its approach. Warnings do not create hearts. It only alerts a heart that is alive, ready to receive guidance.
Guided, yeah. So Allah SWT said, whether you remind them or not, will not believe. Why? Because of three barriers. There's block, right? Block from the front, the ayat of Allah SWT. They couldn't see it. From behind, the history, and from the above, the Quran, Allah revelation, right? But do you have to stop Muhammad? I said no. You know what I mean? Yes, after the Surah Tabbat Yada Abila, right? That means this surah is like a stem. Sayasla naron datal Abu Lahab and his wife, or have stem, will enter hellfire. Do Muhammad stop, in the mind? No. He still continue. Still a hope, right? So it means when you see something, something people said, man, I already said 10 times already. Maybe after 20 times, maybe 100 times. Right? Continue. Right? Because the next ayah will see the results. إنما تنذر من اتبع ذكر وخشي الرحمن بالغيب فبشره بمغفرة وأجر كريم.
You can only warn him who follows the reminder, the Quran, and fears the most beneficent, Allah, unseen. Bear you to such one the glad tidings of forgiveness and a generous reward, i.e., paradise. Most probably, the reminder in this instance refers to the Quran. A person who follows the Quran and fears God despite not seeing him is the one who benefits by the warning. It is as if the warning has given to such people only, and the Prophet directed it to them alone, even though he addressed it to all people.
Remember that reminder or warning have to be after explanation. You can't warn people, with something and you don't know, right? So therefore why, for example, the children who just grew up, about a snake, right? Hey, don't come to this. This is snake. What snake? Right? You have to explain the snake have poison, snake is dangerous, right? Then you can warn them. So the same, for example, you talk with people who believe in God, talk about Jannah, about hellfire. Shut up, man. I don't believe in that, right? Right. So Allah SWT did not block them until after they explained. But he said you have to continue. Why? He said, Innama tundiru, you can only warn him who follow the reminder. It means maybe majority people didn't want follow you. But the one person there, right? Among all these people, they listen, right? And they say, Wakhosya Rahman, and fear Allah in unseen. Is some there wrong? Maybe that person. right? And this person might be alone, 2, 3 people, they reflects, right? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, tell that person, Fabashirhu, give good news. What? Bimaghfiratin, forgiveness. I know, maybe that person maybe thinks, yeah, I know, but look at my past. I have a lot evil. I did all this crime. It's not me, maybe. I'm not worthy. Allah said, no. If you just follow, you continue, Allah will forgive you. Right? And there was second one, Wajun Kareem. Allah will honor with generous reward, noble reward. Allah. Because what I can get. And because also, on that time, especially, if you follow Muhammad Sallallahu, you'll be in risk. Your economy, your life in dangers. As you know, Yasir, Sumaya, all become victim, right? And they died. So therefore, Allah said, don't worry. Yes, maybe you will suffer, but you will get what? Generous reward. The price is paradise. Right? Look at this. Yeah. So, that means also never underestimate your message. You just convey the message. You just send the email, send the WhatsApp. You have good word, good story. Maybe, among 100 people that read your message, one maybe it could be. Yeah. That's the meaning of the ayah. إنا نحن نحيي الموتى ونكتب ما قدموا وآثارهم وكل شيء أحصيناه في إمام مبين.
Indeed, it is we who bring the dead to life and record what they have put forth and what they left behind, and all things we have enumerated in a clear register. At this point, the truth of resurrection is emphasized together with the reckoning that ignores nothing. Bringing the dead back to life has always been an issue fraught with argument, of which we will see several types in this surah. They are warned here that whatever they do and whatever effects their deed cause are written down, and nothing is forgotten.
Inna nahnu, we, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, bring the dead to life. What is connection here? You talk about warning, talk about people who didn't want to follow, talk about barrier. What connection with the bring death to life? That means, oh Muhammad, your job is just continue to convey the message. I am the one give life to their heart. Right? Nobody think that, for example, Hamza will become Muslim. Umar bin Khattab, Abu Sufyan, right? Khalid bin Walid. Khalid they killed many Muslims in Badr, right? Allah said, I keep them. Right? Right? And then he said, and don't worry what they did. Wanaktubu, we're recording what they sent forth. That means those who suffer with you, those who against you, everything will be recorded. Not only that, and say what they left behind, their legacy, right? وَكُلَّ شَيْءٍ, and everything أَحْصَيْنَاهُ. When we record it, so precisely. The Imam means the book will be clear. The book that will be presented in front of you, right? Everything will be what? Documented. So that means every day, look like we send an email to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, send something, right? So when we die, we receive everything that you send, right? But maybe, everything that we send, it will not make us qualified to the Jannah. But you have something behind. Like what? Like Sadaqah Jariyah, running charity. You give donation to the masjid, the hospital, you have raised the children. Right? This help you continue even you die already. Right? Like this story about in Africa, long time ago, this one country, they used to elect the king every year. And after that, they're going to put that king into the island every year. 1 year, put the island. So one day after they put one of the king in island, on the way back, he found a young man almost drowning. So they picked him up, right, and took him to the city. And he said, "You have to be our king now." The young man said, "What? No, no, no. I don't have experience to be king. If not, I put you back to the ocean." But only 1 year. And then what? After 1 year, we're going to drop you in the same island. What in island? Us. I said, okay, I accept with one condition. What? After I become king, you have to allow me to see the island. Yeah, you king, you are free. So the inauguration, he became king. So after a week, with his security, he went to the island. When he went there, it was scary island, bushes, and he heard the sound of wild animals. And he saw a lot of bones. What's bone? Oh, the king. Oh man, this will be my destiny. Okay, but he was very smart. The next month he come again, he bought a soldier and the walker, right? He pushed back all the wild animals, cut all the trees, right? And then he come back again, bring the architect, engineer. So he transformed the scary island, in 10 months to be like beautiful city, right? I said, I'm ready now. No, 2 more months, 1 year. That's good. So he brought the cattle, chicken and cow, so houses, palace, everything, right? So no animal, nothing. So after 1 year, they used to brought the king around the city to say goodbye. Farewell, goodbye, goodbye. He was so happy. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. And some people ask the king, "You are strange here. Why?" Because the kings before you, in this moment, used to cry. "Oh, goodbye, goodbye." Yeah, because the king before me, they're not smart. They're going to the island to be food for the animal. I'm going there for what? To enjoy what I did is best. So when we die, we have two choices. You die like other kings, not smart, or be like this king. He built a future already. Right? That's the meaning. Allah record everything. Yeah. واضرب لهم مثلا أصحاب القرية جاءها المرسلون.
And put forward to them a similitude, the story of the dwellers of the town when they came messengers to them. Having presented the issue of revelation and resurrection in the form of a factual statement, the surah now presents them again in a narrative form so as to touch hearts with a story about the fate of those who persist in denying the truth.
Now Allah switched the story like new subject. Remember that what the block people from the front, right? From behind. What's behind is the history. What people to people before, right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "Wadrib lahum," right? Give example. To the people. Give example. 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 Give To who? Lahu mean to Quraysh. Tell Quraysh what happened to people in the past. Right? Ashabul Qarya, the people of town. That means Allah will to tell us what happened to the people in one place. But Allah SWT did not mention the place. Why is it? It's very important. Because sometimes people, when read the story, they focus to something not important. Of course, the ulama said this is Antiochia, Turkey, and many things. But if it is important, Allah SWT will tell us. Or will tell us, you can find out. Right? This is very important because, you know, when we talk about Ashabul Kahfi, people of the cave, for example, Allah mentioned it. People are going to discuss how many of them. It is 5, 6, or 7. And then there's debating, right? When you're debating, what benefit? You lost everything. Like somebody said, this businessman, he was successful. He gave lecture for 1 hour, right? The teacher talk about that businessman, how he was successful, right? So now we open question answer. A student asked question, and he said, "Sir, what shoes that he wear? What color of his tie?" Man, right? Subhanallah. Even Yusuf alayhi salam, do Yusuf marry with Zulaikha or not? Right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not mention because Allah knew if you mention, you will focus to that one, not the main story. Right? Yeah. So who's the audience here? The audience is the prophet, right? And then the kafir, you know, and people who are have in the hearts, you know, they want to follow, they want to be, but they still the worry, right? They accept it but not worried. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, okay, I'll give you an example. Right? Allah sent a messenger to the city. So what happened? إذ أرسلنا إليهم اثنين فكذبوهما فعززنا بثالث فقالوا إنا إليكم مرسلون.
When we sent to them 2 messengers, they belied them both. So we reinforced them with a third, and they said, "Verily, we have been sent to you as messengers." The Quran does not mention which township this was or who were its people. Different reports suggest different towns and cities, but there's no real benefit in trying to establish its identity. The fact that the Quran neither identifies it nor mentions its location does not detract from the import of the story.
Yeah, like I mentioned, right? So anyway, Allah sent 2 messengers. Maybe after years, it's not work. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, فَعَزَّزْنَا, right? And reinforce another prophet. So the 3 prophets, right? It's not for competition, to reinforce. Maybe Allah sent first and then second and then the third. Maybe they change, right? Subhanallah. So wait a minute. You know, even long time ago, sometime in the same time, there's 2, 3 prophets. Ibrahim, there's Lut also there, right? So why Muhammad not? Right? Why there's no another prophet about Muhammad? Number 1, because the last prophet. Number 2, Allah said, فَعَزَّزْنَا, right? We enforce. That means Muhammad, I am being enforced you. Right? فَعَزَّزْنَا the word. You don't need another prophet. And also because I left behind the book that is for the last one. Because you know, we not stop. right? So what's the reason again of the people of this city refuse? Because of three barriers. The same. They block. You know, I believe that if even this prophet also saw the miracle, saw them the miracle, like Abu Jahl, when they brought a lizard. Muhammad, are you prophet? I said, yes. Can you talk to this lizard? So I said, yeah, are you a dog or lizard? Who am I? The lizard, he said, Labbaika wa sa'adik. You know, he answered Rasulullah with polite. And then he said, Annaka Rasulullah, balagh risala. Right? You are Rasulullah, you come with the message. Like he give lecture. Because he said one word, no, I don't hear nothing, right? Right? Like Isa alayhi salam, he just said, I am Abdullah. No, I am Abdullah. Allah will be a prophet. I will ask you to pray, to give zakat and all this. So people listen for a few minutes, right? Do they believe? No. One day, I mentioned also Rasulullah SAW, you know, the Quraysh used to have like a gathering and after Asr time. The woman there, the children there, the leader of the has special places like this. Because the Makkah is like valley. So you can heal here. Like entertainment, people play this, play this. Then Muhammad came. Muhammad came. He said the Surah An-Najm just revealed. Very powerful Surah. Said, وَالنَّجْمِ إِذَا هَوَى مَا ضَلَّ صَاحِبُكُمْ وَمَا غَوَى وَمَا يَنْطِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَى. Imagine Muhammad's voice, right? His voice beautiful. And then this ayah is Arab on the time, they always like amazed with the pottery. This is not like pottery. This is above the pottery. In the start by one najmi, by when the star falling down. Right? And then they confess their God. Afara'aytumul Lata wal Uzza. You're going to worship Lat and Uzza. God, you give the name. Right? Then the ayah talk about what happened to people of Samud and Ad and all this. Right? In the end of the ayah, Fasjudu lillahi wa'budu. Say make sujood and worship. So everybody what? Make sujood. When Rasulullah lost his head, he was happy. Alhamdulillah, everybody Muslim. So then they lost their head. Everybody was confused. So some people asked Abu Lahab, Abu Jahl, are we follow Muhammad? No. He realized the dangers. No. You know the reason I made sujood? Because when he said was judu, remember our gods. So we sujood to our gods. Barrier. Right? The same with them. Barrier. Right? That's the reason. So قالوا ما أنتم إلا بشر مثلنا وما أنزل الرحمن من شيء إن أنتم إلا تكذبون.
They, people of the town, said, "You are only human being like ourselves, and the most beneficent Allah has revealed nothing. You are only telling lies." This oft-repeated objection to the fact that God sends human messengers to human communities betrays a naive understanding and ignorance of the nature of the messenger's role. People expected that both the personality and the life of the messenger should entail some deep secret which could feed their imaginations.
So you, prophet, you are Bashar. Bashar means have the same skin. Right? You know, I don't think so Ar-Rahman sent anyone. So they put the word Ar-Rahman like Muk. You know, before said Ar-Rahman. right? If it is from Ar-Rahman, should be not you. Because I know you eat, you drink, whatever, right? So therefore, this is why other religion, they put Isa above human being. And it's dangerous. Sometimes people wanted somebody to be supernatural, right? Allah said in Surah Al-An'am, if Allah sent a malaika, the angel, had to be sent also angel in the form of a human being, wearing clothes like you wear. Because if for an angel, how you talk to angel, right? If also if it's angel, say, man, he's angel, man. I cannot be like them. No, always. Right? He said, you are a liar. So he said, tell lies. You know, the reason that people, they don't want to follow, because the nature of human being, you don't want somebody give him order. Right? People hate when somebody said, you know, you have to wake up certain time. You have to eat this food. Like even somebody talk to doctor. People they don't want it. Even among the sibling. You know, hey, can you get that? Me? Why? All right? That's human being. People want to be free. So the reason people that sometimes you don't want to accept, because they have responsibility. Right? Oh man, I become Muslim. What do I have to do? Pray 5 times a day. Early morning, wake up. Once again, fasting, whole month. No food, no drink even. Circumcised. Have to wear hijab in the summertime. That's the nature of human being, you don't want to. Right? Yeah. قالوا ربنا يعلم إنا إليكم لمرسلون.
The messenger said, our Lord knows that we have been sent as messengers to you. The task assigned to God's messengers is to deliver the message. And they did just that. People are then free to choose what they wish for themselves and what burden their choices represent. Once the messengers have delivered the message, the matter is left to God to determine.
So I said, you prophet, you like us, right? I don't think so. What is it? We don't care. Rabbuna, our Lord, said that we are a messenger. Right? So sometimes people don't too much pay attention to what people say. Right? But please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know, no, you are terrorists. You are, I don't care if you're terrorist. Right? So this is very important. Also, whether people believe or not, accept or not, you just continue. My job just to convey what? The message. وَمَا عَلَيْنَا إِلَّا الْبَلَاغُ الْمُبِينُ.
And our duty is only to convey plainly the message. Certain that they said nothing but the truth, and knowing the remit of the mission assigned to them, the messengers replied, our Lord knows that we have indeed been sent to you. It is sufficient that God knows.
Yeah. But the word is said, my job is to pray balag. Balag mean, you know, you reach the goal, right? You convey the message, but with effective communication, not just convey, right? For example, you don't say to brother, right? Hey, brother, you know, you pray is wrong. You say, what? You don't explain. The way I know is wrong, right? Because the word is like weapon, like an arrow, right? What's the object is the heart. So you have to knock the heart. That means we have tried to do as best as we can. I will give an example after this. right? To when you get to the message, right? But it says that mubin. Mubin means clear in the reality, right? You convey the message, but based on the truth. Because also, sometimes people convey the truth, but only through emotion. Like if you watch in the church, the pastor can make people cry. Yes, yes, we have to believe this. He's our right. Yeah, just follow whatever they say, without keeping the truth, right? Yeah. So therefore, it is very important that, for example, we have small kid, yeah, and the mother said, "You have to pray." Why have to pray, mom? What? You asked me that? He asked question, right? You have to explain why we pray. To thank God, to have communication with God. Take something. Right? That's the meaning balagul mubin. Because sometimes the reason people sometimes turn away because you not convey, you know, because the left of the message have to also knock their emotion and also truth. Emotion also sometimes people can become delusion. Oh yeah, if you do this and do this, you will get this without proof, for example, right? But no, because sometimes so therefore why in fundraising the sheikh has to be sweet to give the story to convince people, but also based on Quran and Sunnah, right? People sometimes like yesterday, we have fundraising with Islamic Relief. So I invited some people. We not expected this kind of people will do the name, but the speaker can move him. Yeah, yeah. That's Balagul Mubin. قالوا إنا تطيرنا بكم لئن لم تنتهوا لنرجمنكم وليمسنكم منا عذاب أليم.
They, people, said, "For us, we see an evil omen from you. If you cease not, we will surely stone you, and a painful torment will touch you from us. We view your call with gloom, expecting it to bring evil upon us. Unless you stop, we will no longer tolerate you. We will surely stone you and inflict on you a painful suffering." Thus falsehood declares its intentions, threatening those advocating divine guidance and resorting to heavy-handed tactics in answering the quiet word of truth.
I said, look, we are suffering. I think we have a lot of difficulty in life now, lot of calamity because of you. You are an omen. People sometimes when they lost argument, right, they had to do something. You bring disease, man. Your idea is corrupt, right? Man. Some people sometimes, Islam is good, man. Beautiful. But can Islam solve all the problem? Like healthcare, right? All this and this. Right? So now these people, they know that maybe some people are going to follow. Maybe, sometimes always the weak people, the one who first follow, right? So these elite people, Silanarjumannakum, I will stone you. If you don't stop, I will stone you. Or I'll punish you. What we have to do now to these people, we have to use the weapon. If not, this disease is spread to everybody. قالوا طائركم معكم إن ذكرتم بل أنتم قوم مسرفون.
They said, "Your omen, i.e., your fate, is with yourself. Is it because you were reminded? Rather, you are a transgressing people." Forebodings of evil as a result of a message being delivered or a face being encountered is nothing but ignorant superstition. The messengers tell them so and make it clear to them that their share of good or evil comes from within themselves. In other words, it relates to their actions and intentions.
So people are always, to feel something, have tried to find the excuses, right? So therefore, now they found excuses. Always in the community, there's something have problem, right? Economic problem, or I think all problem because you start from you. Before you come here, there's nothing. It's all there. There's nothing, right? So the Prophet said, "Qalu ta'irukum," your oman is with yourself, because you have an idea that Prophet had to become like from superstition, from the angel, not human being, right? And then you try to make people fear, right? So therefore, people sometimes wanted something that beyond our nature. You want to believe, follow Sheikh. Sheikh can fly, for example. The Sheikh can do something acrobatic. What acrobatic? Acrobatic, right? Oh, the Sheikh good man. Oh, he put his hand like this. I'm okay. That's even among Muslims. The more trust the Sheikh can perform magic, like. وجاء من أقصى المدينة رجل يسعى قال يا قوم اتبعوا المرسلين.
And there came running from the farthest part of the town a man saying, O my people, obey the messengers. It is apparent that the man did not command a position of honor, power, or influence among his people. He was an ordinary person motivated by faith to travel from one end of the city to the other to make his stand clear. Anyone who advocates such a message, seeking no gain or reward, must be honest and sincere.
This is very important. The ayah after this, Allah make like story of the three messengers very short. But we'll talk about this man as long. And Wajah, and came from the Aqsal Medina. Remember that before kan Ashabul Qaryah, right? Qaryah and Medina. Qaryah means a town, right? Kampung. Medina, the city. That means these men, right? They are from different city, but they hear the message. It is more make sense for them, and they accept it. You understand? They accept it now. And now he heard that people, his own people, rejected these three messengers. Not only that, he heard that they're going to kill them. Right? So wait a minute. Well, people now, for example, said, who am I? I didn't have knowledge. This man not scholar. You only just believe the message. It's not my job. Why I have to do? If they're going to kill messenger, they're going what? Me, I am who, right? But Allah, He light here. Rajulun, a man. Yas'a. Yas'a mean he walked very fast. That means he didn't have what? Horse or camel. Something people want to do something good. I wish, I have car. I wish I have money. Right? Always try to find what? Excuses. This man, he have to walk, maybe day to that city. Right? But he felt that this is responsible not only prophet. Everybody who believes in God, they have to do something. Subhanallah. So this meant what? He was very, very sincere. He wanted to do something. And also, when he come to them, right? Qala ya qawmi, oh my people. I said, okay, maybe this messenger is not from among them, maybe. Oh, you don't know them. But I am you. I said, my people. And it's very important also, like Nuh also said, ya qawmi. He didn't say, hey, kafir, hey, the sinner, the reactor. No, he said, my people. Yeah. What he said, ittabi'u, man, follow. Follow who? Mursaleen. Subhanallah. Yeah. Allah. Ittabi'u man la yas'alukum ajran wa hum muhtadun.
Obey those who ask no wages of you for themselves and who are rightly guided. What else could motivate him to undertake such trouble, enduring such opposition, unless he was required to do so by God? Why would he bear such a burden, confronting people with a faith that is unfamiliar to them, exposing himself in the process to threats, ridicule, and persecution when he stood to make no gain nor earn any benefit?
Yeah. Well, he said, man, follow those messengers who come to you not for fundraising, not to collect money. He didn't do nothing. Right? So it means these people want good for you, not want your money. Right? People sometimes understood, oh man, look, when you are become sheikh, ustad, teacher, do dawah, you don't need to ask people money. You don't, it is not allowed to receive salary, right? People misunderstood this ayah. No, because Rasulullah he said Mus'ab bin Umair, young boy, right, whose his parent, abandoned him after become Muslim. Rasulullah gave him money because how going to eat in Medina? They give him like salary. Imam Malik, one day have many, because after, time, Imam Malik cannot teach all people. So he hired people to become a teacher, who learn from him. So they have different people. But sometimes the people late. So Imam Malik said, why are you late? I have to find food for my family first. So therefore, after that, all students have to pay. Because if Imam hungry, how are you going to teach you? Right? Yeah. But the meaning of selling religion, it means when the Imam, use religion just to please people. Right? Like for example, some sheikh, for example, he don't want to talk about subject because it hurts what they're doing. For example, most people dealing with riba interest, right? If I talk interest, man, or we are fired. That's the meaning of this one. So you just want to guide something. Or, the prophet mostly talk about what? Something that wrong in the people in the time. So the prophet mostly come to solve the problem, the core problem. What Lot core problem? Homosexuality, lesbian, right? If Lot on the time just talk, to be kind to your parent, to be honest, nobody rejected him. But you talk about something that people doing, that confronted. That's the meaning of this. And it's dangerous something. You are a scholar, you avoid to talk about subject that really people, need to describe about that subject, right? Like homosexuality. Because you talk or not, your children will know, right? وَمَا لِيَ لَا أَعْبُدُ الَّذِي فَطَرَنِي وَإِلَيْهِ تُرْجَعُونَ.
And why should I not worship him, Allah alone, who has created me and to whom you shall be returned? The man then speaks about himself, outlining the reasons that motivated him to believe and appealing to the sound human nature. The man also feels by nature that a created being must in the end return to its creator in the same natural law that brings everything homing to its originator.
Let's put the scene like this. You see these three messengers, right? They're going to hang them, right? And people are there. So this man came, suddenly say, hey man, follow them, man. They don't ask for money, right? And then, what? You're going to follow his God? Right? So in the ayah it's not there, but from the answer, Wamalia, why should I not? You see, he could talk to himself, right? What should I not worship? The God who created me. You know, you get salary from the company that you work, right? Because you work for them, right? And then he said, Wa ilahi, and to him, you, to Ja'un. He talked about me, right? Right? Why should I not worship God who created me? And you too, we return to him. Where are you going after that? He's very smart, right? He was said, why I'm not worshiping? And also remember that you and me will be there. I don't know. أَتَّخِذُ مِن دُونِهِ آلِهَةً إِن يُرِدْنِ الرَّحْمَنُ بِضُرٍّ لَا تُغْنِ عَنِّي شَفَاعَتُمْ شَيْئًا وَلَا يُنْقِذُونَ.
Shall I take besides him aliha gods? If the most beneficent Allah intends me any harm, their intercession will be of no use to me whatsoever, nor can they save me. The man then looks at the opposite way, which is contrary to sound nature, only to find that it is nothing but manifest error. Should I worship other deities beside him? If the Lord of grace should will that harm me befall me, their intercession will avail me nothing, nor will they save me.
You know, this man very smart. You know, he don't want to offend them. He said, you're going to worship these gods? When Ar-Rahman will punish you, what this God can do? He said, no. Do I take others' gods? All these gods that you said, the idols. And then if Ar-Rahman, you know Ar-Rahman, because Allah mentioned also in Satin Rahman, because Allah SWT, for them, if God is so merciful, how going to punish you? I said, no, he's Ar-Rahman. But if you disobey, he's going to punish you too. And what all this God can do? Look at, right? Inni idhan lafi dalalin mubin.
Then verily I should be in plain error. Can anyone be in greater error than the one who abandons the way of sound nature, which requires that the created being worship its creator? Now that the man has stated his case, speaking for sound human nature that is aware of the truth, he declares his own final decision, confronting the people who had threatened God's messengers.
Allah. So if I follow you, all of you, worship that gods, don't worship this one God, that means what? I will be lost. Right? He didn't say like this. If you now rejected the person, you worship that God, you be lost, right? No, said we. Very smart, right? So something is very important. You talk direct, you indirect. You understand what I mean? For example, somebody asks you, you know, I'm going to Indonesia. You know, what airplane? For example, you want to say, don't go to that airplane. You say, you know, last time I went to airplane, oh man, they delay, they cancel, the food not good, right? Then you can say, I don't think so good. Different than you went airplane, you're stupid. So how do you know, right? So the man, he looked into his experience first. Inni amantu bi rabbikum fasma'un.
Verily, I have believed in your Lord, so listen to me. The voice of sound nature in his heart was clearer and stronger than any threat. I do believe in the Lord of you all, so listen to me. He wants them to witness his stand on the side of truth, implying that they too should follow his suit and declare themselves believers.
Inni, I am believe in what? In you, Lord. He doesn't say my Lord. In you, Lord, man, who created you, provide you. Listen. That's my one. Why is it listen here? You know, sometimes people, sometimes, for example, you have friend, student, you know, he have exam next week, but he's play past the school and he said, man, you know, isn't you going exam? Right? Yeah, I was, you know, still on me. Man, study, man. Then he met Iman and said, man, you have to study, man. Right? So when all people are talking whatever, it's effective, right? And then you judge it, man. You know, be good son, man. Right? So this is very important. Say, listen. Yeah. قيل ادخل الجنة قال يا ليت قومي يعلمون.
It was said to him when the disbelievers killed him, enter paradise. He said, would that my people knew. Such evidence could be of various types, including the miracles they demanded or were given to God's messengers in support of their messages. The hooks refer to whatever different prophets were given of wisdom, directives, and admonition. The light-giving revelations refer most probably to the Torah, yet such communities denied it all.
Very interesting here now. Suddenly, Allah said, welcome to Jannah. What? You know, although you don't need to explain. That means what? He's killed. Right? So these three messengers, another explanation said they put all of them in the hall, only their head like this. So when this man conveyed the message, you two men come here. So they put it also the same. This name, he said his name was Habibun Najar. Habibun Najar. You remember you heard of it? A man called Habibun Najar. His name Habib. This man. Subhanallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, many ayah talk about this man. Not scholar, nothing. Right? And of course, so this all is together called Al Yasin. The word of Al Yasin, family of Yasin. All these three. Right? So therefore, when Ibn Arad, one of Sahaba said, Rasulullah, when a lot of people have been killed, have been persecuted, are we not in the right path? Why we are like this? So I said, be patient, man. People before you put in the hall and they skin it. They don't just kill, no, skin it first. And they don't change their belief. And you, just a few years, be patient, right? So Rasulullah something referred to this guy. So now he died, right? But look it, after he died, what did he say to Allah? Allah, don't forget them, okay? Look at what he did to me. No. قَالَ يَا لَيْتَ قَوْمِي يَعْلَمُونَ Allah. He said, I wish my people know. In another hadith said, he asked Allah, Allah, can you bring me back to life? What for? I want to tell my people what happened to me now. Look at, when you follow the prophet, this is what happened now. Allah said, I make already the rule. Nobody die, come back alive again. Subhanallah. So this means what? So this means, okay, if you want to know the sign people of Jannah, they never have revenge. Even the one who against him. You understand me? Because some people, man, just different opinion, they become like enemy. Me put you in Jahannam, man. Right? Those people who kill him, reject him. He won what? Because they're still alive. I wish the people know. Right? That's the real dawah. Not only nice people who are with you, people who are against you. You know, Rasulullah one time, he saw a janazah. Non-Muslim, a Jew. They cry. Rasulullah, why are you crying? You know, because we don't have time to tell him about Islam. They go to hellfire. He died, right? Subhanallah, that is medicine. So I said, I wish people, my people now. Even he didn't say I still the criminal, no. No, my people. Bima ghafara li rabbi wa ja'alani minal mukramin.
That my Lord Allah has forgiven me and made me one of the honored ones. This verse is also one of those verses which clearly prove the existence of barzakh. This shows that the period of time between death and resurrection is not a period of non-existence, although as some ignorant people think. Had it not been so, the believer would not have been given the good news of paradise after death, and he could not have wished that his people became aware of his good end.
So the man, no, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of course, don't want to enter Jannah before Rasulullah, but Allah show him. He's already in the state of like in Jannah. He saw everything there. Yeah. Look at here said, I wish my people know. What no? He said, my Lord what forgiven me. Remember before that, these people might be alone. He received a message. He want to become Muslim, but he worried. He's sin, right? Right? Allah not remove his way. No, I said, look, alhamdulillah, I followed it. So Allah forgive my sin. What the second one? You know, if you follow what, Allah will honor you. Ajrun Kareem, right? Remember it? No, everything was heaven. Subhanallah. Yeah. So we learn from this that mean the duty of convey the message, not duty of Imam, Sheikh, everybody. You know, if you have opportunity to convey the message to anyone, like this man not scholar, but look at Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala honor them. Yeah.
Lessons. Number one, the crowd isn't always right. The main story in the surah is about a city to which 3 prophets were sent. In this story, the entire city rejects the prophets except for one man. The lesson here is clear. The truth isn't always with the majority, and we must stand clearly for the truth, even if we are the only people doing so.
So, like Ibrahim Rasulullah, because said, man, everybody doing this. You know, in our country, something you have to bribery. Man, what to do, man? Right.
2, we may only find success in the afterlife. In this story, the people rejected the prophets. Only one person believed the prophets. The people killed this man too. No amount of self-help advice could change that. It was their destiny to face these challenges. In return, they did not see much in terms of worldly victories. Instead, they attained paradise, which is the ultimate victory. Sometimes we lose sight of what really matters. Paradise should be our real goal. As we continue to strive and work hard in this world, we should also be happy with whatever destiny Allah chooses for us, knowing that our real success lies in the afterlife.
So therefore, sometimes, you know, some people might be unknown in this world, but they are known in the heaven, right? And people sometimes easy to do, even you need facing suffering because what they have a goal. So that goal of Jannah make this young man have brave to talk the truth with the people. Yeah. So that's I think for tonight. Yeah, we'll continue inshallah. They I think will be yeah, not a share class because it will be Eid next Sunday. Yeah. Alhamdulillah hamdan yafi ni'amaka fi majid rabbana lakal hamdu kama yanbaghi li jalali wajhika wa adhimi sultani. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala sayyidina Muhammad wa sahbihi ajma'in. Allahumma anfa'na bima 'allamtana wa qina adhaban nar.
Ameen.
اللهم اهدنا على الاسلام والسنه وتوفنا على الايمان والتوبه. ربنا اتنا في الدنيا حسنه وفي الاخره حسنه وقنا عذاب النار. وصلى الله وسلم الحمد لله رب العالمين. I just want to remind you, inshallah, I make video also about this. So we are now in the what? In the month, the first 10 of the Hijjah. Right? This is anything you do in this month, whether you pray, you fasting, you make dhikr, you make sadaqah, all did is beloved by Allah. You know, you do anything, Allah reward you. But this one is guarantee. Allah love you. So take opportunity. If you can fast all days, good. If not, don't miss, you know, like tomorrow, Monday, Thursday, and then Friday. Or just Friday. Don't miss it. And also sadaqah and dhikr, inshallah. May Allah accept for us.